explosion is imminent. Looking at all the bullish news that I just woke up to, amazing. Not to mention the calculations of how much money will be pouring into XRP solely alone is just mind-boggling. We're about to moon. Literally, I'm not even kidding. I have very beautiful news for you guys today. XRP is around $3. Why is that the case? We're moving back up again. We called it actually, I think. Hopefully we do keep pumping though. But from CoinDesk, SBI files for Bitcoin XRP ETF in Japan, pushing dual crypto exposure in regulated markets. The crypto assets ETF is structured to track the performance of both assets simultaneously, providing a single entry point for investors seeking crypto exposure. Wow, so Japan just came into play, huh? This is diabolical, guys, in a good way. SBI Holdings has filed for a dual asset crypto ETF offering direct exposure to both Bitcoin and XRP. Oh, wow. So wait, if you buy this crypto ETF, that means you have exposure in both Bitcoin and XRP. That's an interesting take here. In a rare instance where XRP formerly bundled with Bitcoin in an institutional grade product. Wow, that's a 200 IQ move from SBI Holdings, huh? Because if somebody doesn't like XRP but they want to buy Bitcoin, yeah, you're forced to have XRP included, guys. Oh, I see. So no formal approval has been granted yet, but if cleared, these would become Japan's first ETFs to include XRP. Interesting. But you know, over there in Japan and especially Asia, they love XRP and cryptos over there, right? Especially XRP. I'm pretty sure with South Korea and buying as much as with South Korea making XRP pump to $3 plus, that's number one. Number two, Japan has always loved XRP, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure those will get passed very soon, officially. Now, listen. So that's incoming. Okay, I don't know how much money they're going to be pouring in over there, but I have some numbers here, which is going to be pretty ballistic for these certain XRP filings. What do we have here? We got all these XRP spot ETFs to come into play soon. Okay, now check this out. So JP Morgan's projection, according to a web results from thecryptobasic.com. And it was published like months ago, guys. JP Morgan estimates that XRP ETFs, once approved, could attract between $4 billion to $8 billion in their first year. This projection assumes a successful launch and growing institutional adoption, leveraging XRP's utility in cross-border payments and its market responsiveness to capital inflows. So we got $4 to $8 billion, guys. Okay, when these ETFs are all approved. So but again, it's not, wait, that's actually an S-ton. I'm going to explain why in just a sec, because now we have what? The market cap multiplier effect. Dun dun dun, watch this, okay? So the same source cites that Grok analysis suggesting XRP's market cap could see a multiplier effect of up to 200x on capital inflows. Do you guys understand how big that is? Right? Then, based on historical data, $12 million of inflow on April 12, 2025 led to a $7 billion market cap increase, implying a 600x multiplier. Using a conservative 200x multiplier, inflows of $1 billion to $8 billion could push XRP's market cap towards $1 trillion, depending on market dynamics. Now, $1 trillion per XRP, how much is that dollars wise? Okay, that's fascinating, guys. So $10 is with the current circulating supply of XRP, it's about $500 billion. Okay, but if we go to 20 here, fascinating. It takes us up to $1 trillion market cap, huh? $20 per XRP. Whoa, that's so odd to me. Wait, that really is strange, because I've heard $20 from Brad Garlinghouse. He said 1,000%. Okay, which is 10x whatever price it was back then, which was XRP was at $2, right? So that takes us to $20. David Schwartz, again, another prediction from David Schwartz was $20-ish, because he pointed to a 10x bubble. It was like a riddle, guys. It would take XRP to, again, $20-ish. And then there's so many, and then Credible Crypto says $20 as well. A lot of different analysts say $20. That's fascinating, huh? When all this becomes activated, and supposedly the deadline, I think, is about a few more months max, right, for all these ETFs. Maybe some earlier, some later, but again, wait, this is crazy, huh? Now, So, historical crypto ETF inflows. For context, the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF launched in October 2021 attracted significant inflows, reaching over $1 billion in assets within its first few months. If Bitcoin can do that, why couldn't XRP? It's much superior, right? Yes, it's going to be more volatile, but again, at least people can now put a portion of their capital into XRP. Bitcoin already went up, right? XRP still is kind of lagging behind, to be fair. Then spot Bitcoin ETFs approved in January of 2024 has amassed over $60 billion in combined assets under management by mid-2025 per industry reports. XRP ETFs, being a newer asset class, may see slower initial adoption but could follow a similar growth trajectory if regulatory hurdles are cleared. Exactly, which takes us to this right here. This person is on record believing BlackRock will file for a spot XRP ETF soon, guys. We're so close to the finish line. I'm gonna explode. Oh my lord.
Is saying that I do believe BlackRock will file for both spot XRP and Solana ETFs, though.
Oh my lord, come on now. Flooded again. We told you that there's gonna be a flood incoming.
We're getting a little bit late here in the sense of, I think again we're getting closer to the finish line, and they still haven't filed. Now maybe they're waiting for that formal framework that we talked about to be put into place, and they're going to swoop in at the last minute and file for these.
Wait, now I'm really understanding how significant the ETFs are, folks. I just thought about it, right? People think about these ETFs like it's okay, it's gonna pump XRP, whatever. No, wait, I just had the realization because the multiplier we use for the market cap multiplier was 200x, right? The back on April 12th, guys, like $12 million was flowing in, and it pumped XRP about $7 billion in market cap. Okay, it had a market cap increase above $7 billion, which was implying a 600x multiplier. And we just used a 200x multiplier. It was conservative, right? Which all these coins have some type of multiplier, guys. It's not 1-to-1, right? So if it was like 500x, guys, you know how explosive that will be, right? When all these ETFs become active. And number two is that's why they're delaying it, because they don't want XRP to pump. That means it's literally price suppression. I repeat, right? It literally is. Wow. So they're gonna let loose whenever we see that massive explosive moment, guys. Okay. Now, talking about the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, guys, the spot Bitcoin ETF from BlackRock, right? Why IBIT? Access. IBIT enables investors to get exposure to Bitcoin through the convenience of an exchange-traded product, helping remove the operational, tax, and custody complexities of holding Bitcoin directly. The same thing is going to repeat with XRP. Liquidity. IBIT has been the most traded Bitcoin exchange-traded product since launch, providing investors with potentially lower transaction costs. Same thing with XRP. Now, 3. Integrated technology. IBIT is managed by the world's largest asset manager and leverages a multi-year technology integration developed with Coinbase Prime, the world's largest institutional digital asset custodian. The same thing, all these points will be attached to XRP here soon when they bring upon their own BlackRock ETF, spot ETF. Okay? So, it's going to get crazy, guys. It really is going to get crazy. People are actually underestimating what's really going on. So, listen, the short term, the first 3 to 6 months, I have this on my side monitor, based on initial assets under management and historical crypto ETF trends, inflows could range from $1 billion to $3 billion. Okay, when all these ETF flood in, guys. So for the first year, incorporating JPM's estimate and the multiplier effect, total inflows could reach $4 billion to $8 billion, with potential to exceed $10 billion if market enthusiasm spikes, which it will. There's going to be so much FOMO, guys, most definitely, right? So it's going to literally explode. Wow, 10 billion times, like 500, guys, right? That's going to be ridiculous. Due to the favorable SEC, ruling? Exactly, right? That's why they're not concluding the case. That's why they're not bringing upon any of the ETFs, the spot ETFs yet. It's checkmate. We now know the game plan. right? We now know why they're not doing anything, guys, right? This is why they've been delaying it, because whenever it all launches, it's gonna literally, it's gonna be XRP attached to his rocket ship, and then they're gonna light it up, make it explode, guys. I'm not even kidding. So for the long-term projections here, long-term projections of 1 to 3 years, if XRP gains traction like Bitcoin ETFs, cumulative inflows could surpass $20 billion, especially if XRP's market cap approaches the $1 trillion mark, requiring sustained capital of $5 to $10 billion annually. Okay, so again, if we do enter that new financial system, most definitely, people are just, again, whenever they see XRP rising, right, like it did over here, imagine if the spot ETFs were active, this thing wouldn't have stopped here, by the way. It was going to go higher a bit, right? Because due to the extra FOMO, okay? So it's quite clear that people are underestimating what's really coming and what's really going on. $3 per XRP, we kind of called it. And then we got, guys, so much institutional adoption will be flooded in. I'm not even kidding, because not only ETFs are the ETFs for traditional finance, but look what just happened here. Latest, South Korea's BDAX launches institutional custody for XRP via Ripple custody. There it is. So it's through Ripple custody, guys, right? Wait a sec. So how will that work though? Because if I give them, for example, my XRP, if I lived in South Korea, and they were custodying my XRP for me, right? Which means I don't have no stress, and all that extra stuff, guys. Though the main issue here for everyone probably is handing over your keys to a different entity, though it's most obviously regulated. But what would happen if something happened to this custody service, such as Ripple custody, right? Would my XRP be insured? What would it mean for my XRP? Example, hacks or something. But again, these are the extra questions and extra caution steps you should take before even diving into this, guys, right? But this is so fantastic because, hey, it's through Ripple custody. Wait, really though? We are thrilled to offer custody support for XRP, one of the most popular digital assets in Korea. I told you guys, Japan loves XRP as well, to our institutional clients. Oh, okay, it just hit me, guys. It's for their institutional clients. That's why I was a little bit confused, because I'm like, wait, for retail? So that means you and I can just, do this? But it's for institutional clients. I guess they don't want to take, nobody wants to take, we said this as well, nobody wants to take the risk for retail, guys, right? Because it's just too risky. There's probably no insurance on this as well. But that's why I said, if we want this crypto industry to go mainstream, we need the government to have a retail solution, right? And possibly it's gonna be from Ripple, who knows? Partnership with the White House, the government, United States government. This launch strengthens our long-standing partnership with Ripple and underscores our commitment to the Korean markets. So there we go, guys, right? So yeah, okay, so that's fantastic then. My only issue was retail, right? But again, it's not retail, so it's beautiful. Nonetheless, guys, it's amazing news because more adoption, more innovation taking place worldwide for XRP. But again, prepare because it's about to get massive. Crazy news incoming today. But it is so face, see ya.